Hey guys, do you like Dragon Ball Z? So, I was working on my various animations I flip-flop between when I got to thinking, hey, Goku's kaio-ken was really convenient and cool when he used it, and it was often the host of my favorite scenes in DBZ, barring Super Saiyans, of course. Anyways, kaio-ken good? Goku learned it from King Kai after he died. Piccolo, Tenshinhan, Chaozu, and Yamcha died. Got to Snake way faster than Goku. The space trip was 34 days for Goku, giving those four about a month to train. Granted that technically Goku probably had about a year to train before the Saiyans arrived, you could argue that that's why they didn't learn the kaio-ken. But let's just say that they did train and they learned the kaio-ken, or at least Tien, Yamcha, and Piccolo learned the kaio-ken to a reasonable effort and amounts in time. So, yeah, it's a what if. Yeah, it probably won't be as good as the other ones you've heard. Yeah, I'm an anime fanboy shill. I'm quiet. Okay, let's go! Our story continues from Goku having been injured from the altercation with the Ginyu Force. Gohan, Krillin, and Dende take the Dragon Balls while Vegeta's asleep, and everything that happens again. Vegeta discovers them, but Lord Guru dies before they're able to get that final wish out of Porunga. Frieza discovers them, and Vegeta fights Frieza, but then Frieza goes into his second form and begins to trash them. Piccolo, meanwhile, travels towards the battle but finds and fuses with Nail. His power is this namekian about the same as the original. Oh, and just for reference, anytime I say the original, I mean the original manga/anime. This time, the fight against Frieza's second form is a bit different. Vegeta can feel Piccolo's power level, and Piccolo is definitely stronger than Vegeta at the moment, and his power level is around Frieza's, but Frieza seems to be losing. Piccolo's a smart fighter, and it's very likely he'd come to a similar style of using kaio-ken that Goku does, utilizing it in short bursts. Frieza in his second form would be flabbergasted. He's in his second form, which he's never really had to use in a fight, and he's being overwhelmed by the same species he nearly wiped off this planet. He doesn't let this distract him from the fact that Vegeta's trying to escape, and asks Piccolo to hold off in combat for a few seconds. Piccolo, who's very much winning this fight, agrees, and allows Frieza to corner and push Vegeta back. Though, instead of simply scaring Vegeta into remaining, he attacks Vegeta, nearly killing him and knocking him down. He then tells Piccolo he has another transformation. Piccolo, who's in great shape and is winning the fight, arrogantly allows Frieza to transform to his third form. Frieza's now twice as strong as Piccolo, and Piccolo will have to use the kaio-ken times 2 at a more constant rate. This proves disadvantageous, but he's still able to fight Frieza's third form almost on par, if not with a slight disadvantage. Remember, Frieza's a competent fighter, and he's slightly stronger than Piccolo going kaio-ken times 2, but Piccolo's been fighting for a long time, and you know that Frieza's not the type to get his hands dirty, so he's not winning the fight, but Piccolo is slowly getting tired and Frieza's not letting up. Vegeta uses this moment to convince Krillin to deal a life-threatening blow to him. Krillin has an easier time due to Vegeta's previous injuries from Frieza, and like in the original, Vegeta nearly dies as Dende leaves him. Piccolo's reaching his limit, and in his desperation goes kaio-ken times 3. He begins mopping the floor with Frieza now, who can't keep up anymore. Frieza is overwhelmed in power, strength, and technique, and Piccolo charges a massive ki blast, attempting to blow Frieza to smithereens. Like Frieza did against Goku in his final form, he activates a barrier and charges into Piccolo. This knocks Piccolo back and breaks his concentration, causing massive injuries and backlash from the kaio-ken. Gohan sees this, and enraged at this turn of events, charges at Frieza like he does in the original. The difference, though, is that Gohan's rage-boosted attack actually hurts this damaged Frieza. Dende heals Piccolo, and through his coaxing, heals Vegeta. Due to how close Vegeta was to dying compared to the original, because of Frieza's enraged attack in his second form, I'd say he now has a power level maybe around 3.5 million. Frieza, in the distance, takes his fourth and final form. He then shoots a death laser at Gohan, which Vegeta blocks. Piccolo, realizing this absolute increase in power compared to before, goes kaio-ken times 4, and not a second too soon. Another beam, almost too fast for him to react to, nearly kills Dende, and he knocks it away. He roars at Gohan and Krillin to hide Dende and looks to Vegeta.
Look, Vegeta, you probably hate me as much as I hate you, but the only chance we have to defeat Frieza is if we work together.
Vegeta scoffs.
Begging for my help, Namekian.
It infuriates me that you're utilizing the same technique Kakarot used to humiliate me, but...
Vegeta sweats a little as he looks at Frieza, who at this point is letting out more energy than he did when he first transformed.
You may be right.
So the two warriors, one Namekian, one Saiyan, charge at the tyrannical ruler. The fight is very similar to Goku and Piccolo vs. Raditz, where, despite their best efforts, they can't hurt Frieza. Vegeta's beginning to lose his will, but before he does, Piccolo turns to him.
Vegeta, I have a plan, but I'll need you to distract him a bit and...
Piccolo splits his body in two with the multiform technique, and while the clone charges Frieza, Piccolo's main form begins charging a kaio-ken-powered Nakanko Sapo, or Special Beam Cannon. Vegeta is hesitant that this plan will work, but is surprised when Piccolo's clone begins utilizing techniques unique to Namekians. Frieza's eyes widen in shock as Piccolo's clone activates the giantification technique and, in using a kaio-ken-empowered fist, launches Frieza a few hundred feet back. Now, Piccolo's still weaker than Frieza, don't forget that, but his extra mass comes with extra muscle and durability, almost like an oozaru. Vegeta hides in the clone's shadow, blasting Frieza in his blind spots and annoying the alien overlord. Eventually, Frieza gets angry and blows a hole in Piccolo's clone. The multiform begins to fade, but not before stretching an arm, grabbing Vegeta and slingshotting him into Frieza. Vegeta hits Frieza with a full-power Gallop Gun, but Frieza knocks the blast away. But before Frieza can say or do anything, he feels an arm on his shoulder as he sees Piccolo blasting towards him. He fires his Nakanko Sapo, and Frieza extends his hand to block the attack. Frieza screams in pain, followed by a massive explosion when the blast hits him. Frieza, enraged and glaring at his bleeding hand, looks at Piccolo and knocks him to the ground with a bone-shattering strike. He launches a blast, ready to kill the Namekian, and Vegeta can only stare in fear and despair, unable to best Frieza, even after swallowing his pride to accept help. Then, Goku shows up. Goku goes full Kaioken times 10, knocking away the blast without seeming to break a sweat.
Took you long enough.
Piccolo groans. Sorry, Goku apologizes. I was really put through the ringer. He looks at Gohan, Krillin, and Dende, who smile at him excitedly. He gives them his patented thumbs up and then turns to Frieza. So, you must be that Frieza I've heard about. I see my reputation truly precedes me, but it's so infuriating. It seems every backwater planet hides some freak monkey or slug who makes it their life's goal to annoy me before I kill them. So, tell me, monkey, who are you? I'm Son Goku, from Earth. And between you and me, I am excited for this fight, but I will defeat you. Well, I will say, you are strong for a monkey. You deflected my blast, after all. Vegeta laughs.
Well, Frieza, it looks like it's over for...
Before he can continue, Frieza blasts a hole in Vegeta's chest. As Vegeta falls into the waters below, Goku charges towards Frieza. You didn't have to do that! Oh, but monkey, I'm simply finishing what I started. Frieza laughs and the two begin to fight. It's a much more serious fight. Frieza's tired of games and is nearing the maximum power he can emit without charging to 100%. Goku has his hands full, just staying alive. Since Dende survived, though, he's able to heal Piccolo, and the Namekian fishes out Vegeta, who Dende heals once more. Even with this new Zenkai boost, he's nowhere near strong enough. His power may be a bit stronger than Goku's base level of 3 million, but that's nothing compared to what Frieza, Goku, or even Piccolo could demonstrate at the moment.
Darn!
Vegeta punches the ground.
I've nearly died, and I wasn't strong enough. And look at Kakarot.
He looks out to his fellow Saiyan.
He's stronger than all of us combined, but he's being destroyed up there. If only I had my immortality.
Piccolo spits on the ground.
What use is immortality if you don't have the power to make a difference?
He mutters. Vegeta looks at him, then he glares at Gohan. Gohan flinches and backs away. What? He squeaks. Vegeta just stares at him and marches forward, grabbing Gohan and cocking back his fist without hesitation. Piccolo charges and punches Vegeta away with a Kaioken-laden fist before the Saiyan could hurt Gohan.
What the heck is wrong with you? If you're feeling suicidal, do it on your own time. Leave Gohan out of it.
Vegeta simply smirks as he wipes the blood from his face.
Look over at Gohan!
Piccolo and Krillin and Dende look with confusion and shock when they see Gohan, standing there, terrified, but with a tail lashing back and forth. Gohan! Your tail! Krillin begins. Back in the fight between Goku and Frieza, Frieza glances at the few other life forms and nearly has a double take when he sees Vegeta standing without a hole in his stomach and Piccolo looking no worse for wear. He glances at Dende, seeing him heal the Saiyan, rage filling his voice as he growls. It seems you slugs and monkeys had a reason for saving that brat. He charges towards the group.
Your plan is stupid,
Piccolo growled.
There's a limit to how strong Gohan can get, and even if you use the artificial moon, Gohan won't be able to overpower Frieza.
He doesn't need to, Vegeta growls. He just needs to be a good distraction. Those techniques of yours, that blast and that annoying red aura, that made Frieza bleed. If you had more power and more time, you could kill the tyrant, couldn't you? Piccolo was thoughtful and looked up to Goku. Goku wasn't winning the fight, but he was utilizing a heightened level of kaio-ken. A level that not even Piccolo would normally try unless he had a death wish. But he could maybe hold on for a few seconds, and if he could, then maybe... Piccolo turns towards Gohan, who shook his head in fear. No, I don't want...
Gohan,
Piccolo said simply.
I know, and I'm sorry I'm pushing this on you. But if you don't fight, your father will die up there, and he's died once already. The Dragon Balls back on Earth won't bring him back.
Before anyone could continue, Krillin pointed a trembling finger towards Frieza, who was charging towards them, Goku at his heels. Guys! Piccolo winced at the sight of the mad tyrant and growled.
Fine! Vegeta!
Vegeta merely smirked as he launched up the artificial moon. Frieza saw the orb of ki fly towards him and moved to swat it away, but watched in confusion as it arced over him. He stood dumbfounded, watching it grow and rise into the air, and turned back to see Gohan growing in size, Saiyan armor stretching with his body as he became an oozaru. Before Frieza could destroy the moon or attack, Goku, utilizing Kaioken times 20, charged into Frieza's back, launching the tyrant into Great Ape Gohan's waiting fist. As the Emperor flew back, Gohan's uncontrollable rage caused him to charge towards him. The wild strength of the Great Ape combined with his rage boost and fear, an unrelenting combination that kept Frieza from getting his bearings. Of course, Frieza was mostly unharmed. Rather, he was still from shock and rage that these weaklings would keep fighting back. After a minute or so, he knocked back oozaru Gohan and destroyed his tail, watching in satisfaction as the child slowly turned back. As he charged a ki blast towards him, he was distracted by a blast to the back of the head. Turning, he looked at the grinning Vegeta. Frieza truly began to tremble in rage, raising his arms to destroy the planet, but before he could, Goku charged into him with another Kaioken times 10 barrage. Goku had destroyed his body using the times 20 technique, and that, coupled with the injuries he had incurred fighting against Frieza until Gohan interrupted, was just enough that when Dende healed him, the Zenkai boost brought him up to almost 4 million. This meant that with a times 10 Kaioken, instead of just being half the tyrant's strength, he was 2/3 his strength. Whenever Frieza looked like he'd have the upper hand, Vegeta would launch a powerful ki blast, catching Frieza off guard. And if Frieza focused his attention on Vegeta or in deflecting the blast, Goku would capitalize on it, striking Frieza with attacks that actually hurt the tyrant in the form he was in. Frieza could only then watch in shock as the Namekian child flew towards Gohan, and with Krillin guarding them, healed Gohan. Frieza was truly enraged. Ignoring a blast from Vegeta, he brought down his fists on Goku, knocking the Saiyan to the ground. Utilizing this brief respite, he flew high into the air before Goku could catch up and began charging a planet-destroying attack. Goku, realizing he had no choice but to try and clash with this blast, unleashed a times 20 Kaioken and then fired off a Kamehameha against Frieza's planet-destroying attack. Frieza was now slightly weaker than Goku's times 20 Kaioken, but Goku's power level was dropping fast as he strained his body. Soon, Goku was joined by Gohan, and then even Vegeta. Krillin, despite his fear, charged up a Kienzan, and with Frieza being unable to dodge the attack, the Emperor winced as the energy blade cut into his flesh but didn't bisect him. Frieza simply turned to Krillin, laser beams coming from his eyes and nearly killing the human. Turning back towards the beam struggle, he redoubled his efforts, drawing all of his 50% power. Slowly, the beam started being pushed back, and his attack neared the planet. Laughing and gloating, Frieza said, "Goodbye, monkeys! Goodbye, slugs! Rest assured, after I clear this miserable planet of you filth, I'll make sure to visit Earth. Your family will be reunited in hell!" Goku feels his energy slowly lowering again and again, and his kaioken fading, but a hand taps his shoulder.
Thanks.
Piccolo mutters.
You were able to hold him off long enough.
Goku begins. Yeah, but he's insanely tough. This almost feels like when we fought against Raditz.
Less talking, Namekian!
Vegeta roared.
Every second I have to ally with you fools is a second of my life wasted.
Piccolo, covered in the aura of Kaio-ken times 10, merely frowned as he launched his special beam cannon, which pierced through Goku's Kamehameha, through Frieza's blast, and into the Tyrant's chest, causing a massive explosion, almost drowned out by the Tyrant's own screams. They stood there, silent for almost a minute. Dust clouds in the air, nothing. Did we? Krillin was interrupted by a death beam, blasting past all of them and killing Dende. Well, that's it for video 1, part 1. I guess there will be a part 2. Stay tuned when I make that. Hopefully my actual animation will come out before that. Okay, thanks. Bye.